So good morning, all. It's a gentle Kripalu yoga class. I'm Judith, as you well know. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. The props we use in this class are a yoga mat. If you don't have that yoga mat, you could fold a blanket or a beach towel on a padded surface like a carpet. I wouldn't recommend doing it on tile or wood because your joints will complain, I feel sure. Other props we like to have available are a couple of blocks. These are the styrofoam version. They're lovely to have as assists in different poses. If you don't have these, a couple water bottles, canned goods of equal size and weight might suffice as a substitute. Padding of some kind. I have a sticky mat here, and I have a rolled towel affixed with rubber bands. That's my fake bolster. And you can use small pillows from the sofa, from the bed. That would work just as well. Yoga strap is another prop. This is easy to substitute with a scarf, a belt, a bathrobe tie, a dog leash, all workable. Optional would be hand weights. I have a pair of 1-pounders here. I would recommend nothing heavier than 2 pounds for this class. You can only fold those in if you feel like you need more challenge. If everything's gotten too easy, you can add some weights, and I'll try to cue that in as we go along. And last but not least, a chair. This is a very stable metal folding chair, wide base for the legs. So when you start pushing your weight on it, it's not going to shift or move. So again, you could use the chair for help with balance. You could use a wall for help with balance. You could use a piece of furniture that doesn't move to help with balance. So all of those things are available. If whatever is being offered this morning does not suit your body, you could modify, you could do something else, or you could skip it. So just pay attention to what the body and the mind are asking for, and all should be well. So let's go ahead and start by standing. We'll take the feet a little bit pointed outward, maybe 10 or 20 degrees, and we're just going to start doing a very gentle warm up to alert the body. It's time to wake up. And so with this one, as you know, it's a shifting of the weight from side to side. It's a gentle self-massage. You can decide what parts of your body you want to massage, your arms, your torso. And at the same time, you're looking over the shoulder to the wall behind you, perhaps lifting the opposite heel or not, and standing tall for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep twisting. And now you're going to touch with the heel of the hand or perhaps a soft fist right under that collarbone, the clavicle. And you're still going to keep looking over the shoulder to the wall behind you, giving a nice squeeze to the spine, hydrating the spine, keeping the flexibility there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep twisting. Now you're going to pat yourself on the back, the shoulder here. We just tapped on the front point of the lung. Now we're tapping on the back point of the lung. Big full breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming back now, we're going to start tapping the midriff, the torso. That backhand can tap the kidneys. And you're still twisting. You're still looking over the shoulder. Big full breaths for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now keep twisting. Now the arms don't even touch the body. Imagine you're standing in a pool of water and you're placing your hands in the water, feeling the coolness of the water. Unless you prefer a hot tub, that would be warm water. Let's do 4, 3, soft bend of the knees. 2, 1. And now we're going to go into ringing the temple gong. So that means one arm forward, one arm back, sync in the middle, opposite side, one arm forward, one arm back. You're syncing in the middle, getting yourself coordinated, everything moving for 4, 3, really reaching, 2, and 1. And then slowly bringing it back down to neutral here in the center. Let's take the feet possibly a little bit closer. You can decide what width would work for you. Hands can be placed on the hip crease or the waist. And we're going to start circling the hips. So imagine you're on the inside of our friend that barrel. And you're trying to hit each point on the 360 degrees. You might want to keep the torso neutral here, or once you get into the swing of it, you might want to engage the torso a little bit more. A few more in this direction. And then we're going to go ahead and find an opportunity to go the other way. Inhaling forward, exhaling, squeezing navel to spine as you round the back. Becoming absorbed in the movement. Focusing your attention on that breath all the way down to the bottom lobes of the lungs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then coming again back to neutral. Shoulders are going to roll now, moving it up. Drawing that invisible circle in the air with your shoulders, opening the chest. We tend to slump forward with the shoulders. Too much driving, hunching over steering wheels, shopping carts, computers. Focusing the attention on keeping those shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Let's go the other direction. Couple more in this way. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's take a big breath in, soft knees, inhale up, exhale down. Both arms stretched to the sky. I'm modifying on my injured side. You can do the same, modifying as you need. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Let's take those arms back up to the sky. And now we're climbing our invisible rope. More invisible props. So you're stretching those side muscles, the muscles that attach to the side ribs, the intercostal muscles. So the idea is to keep the chest square to the front of your space, or that straight edge of your mat, whatever works. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let's go ahead and take those arms, float them down slowly as you resist the gravity. Maybe a roll of the shoulders might open that chest one more time. Let's just tilt now to the right. Tilting. And again, the idea is to keep that chest square to that straight edge of your mat. And just noticing the weight of that arm. Try not to let the head go too dangly. And then you're going to start swirling the wrist, spreading the fingers wide, stretching out the tendons in the hand. And you're breathing. Let's go ahead and circle the wrist and those fingers in the opposite direction. And then bringing that to stillness, you're going to flex those fingers like you're spraying water, you're flicking water off of the fingertips, baptizing your right foot, perhaps, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back, floating to center, and then tilting over to the left. Just noticing the weight of the arm here. Does this side feel the same as the other side? Maybe, maybe not. Let's start circling this wrist here. This wrist might feel different than the other wrist. No judgment, just noticing here. We like to think of ourselves as evenly balanced. In most instances, we are not. So go ahead and circle that wrist in the other direction. The fingers are spread wide. You're stretching those tendons in the hand. And then bringing that circling to stillness, flex the fingers, flex them like you're spraying water onto that left foot. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back to center, tilting over to the right one more time. This time, the left arm travels over the ear. I'm modifying because this is my wounded side here, but you're stretching those fingers to the side wall. You're grounding like crazy through that left foot. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Top elbow bends. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press it off to the side. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 4 more. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's keep the arm stretching to the side. Now the whole unit of that top arm is going to circle right over by the ear if that's available. Modify as you need. Couple more circles in this direction. And then you're going to circle the opposite way. Breathing. Woo. And then bringing that to stillness, let's go ahead and come back to center. Slowly letting that arm float down, shake anything out. Let's go ahead and inhale. Exhale. So that top arm floats by the ear, the fingers stretch to the side wall. Couple of breaths here, feeling a deep stretch in that right side of the body. Inhale, top elbow bends. Exhale, press it off to the side. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press it away. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it over there. Now we're going to take that whole unit of the arm and circle. Doesn't have to be big circles. If you want to go big, go for it. You're in control. You're in charge. Let's go the other way. For 4, 3, 2. Belly is engaged. 1. And then you come back to the side. And again, resist gravity by floating that arm down. Slowly, slowly shake things out. One more time. Let's tilt to the right. Bottom arm this time is going to stretch to the side wall. Top arm stretches to the opposite side wall. Big stretch here. Breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then rotating the arms, windmilling the arms. The bottom hand goes to one wall. The top arm goes to the opposite side wall. Grounding like crazy through that right foot for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then coming back to center and then floating the arms down nice and easy. Shake it out, shake it out. Feels good. Let's go ahead. If you want to grab your chair for support, grab a wall, a piece of furniture. Let's just start by lifting right heel up off of the earth. The 5 toes spread out nice and wide. Exhale, press the heel down, lifting left heel. Toes spread out wide. Exhale, press it down, lifting side to side. Here again, finding your own rhythm, your own pace. You're shifting the weight in the body from side to side here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Both heels come down now. Let's relift the right heel and start circling the ankle. So now the ankle joint initiates the movement. Everything else just coasts along for the ride. And then as you're ready, circling the other direction. Nice and easy. Maybe you don't need even to hold on to the chair. You could do this. And let's go ahead and lower that heel. Lift the left heel. And again, is the ankle joint initiating the movement, standing tall on the supporting right leg. Crown of head floating up to sky. Crown of head lining up with tailbone. Let's circle the other way with that ankle. Really opening up the joint there, sending fresh blood, chi, into that foot, the toes, the ankle, the Achilles tendon. And let's bring that to stillness. Now, you might want to go back to lifting separately those heels side to side for a little bit more. Double time with those feet, little bicycle pedals with the feet, or not. You can choose. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. And now it's a little baby march. Lifting the feet off of the earth gently. It doesn't have to be big. So you're lifting opposite arm and stretching the opposite leg. Leg forward, opposite arm. Nice and easy. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep marching. Now it's going to be out, out, in, out, in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then coming back to center, returning to that baby march, and then slowly letting the feet come to stillness. Very nice. You might want to grab your blocks or substitute blocks to place in front of you for this. Or if you don't have any of those items, you can flip the chair around and place your hands on the seat of the chair, and you can use that for your support. All right. So from here, we're going to just take the toes forward. The feet are, let's take the feet about shoulder width apart. So the hands can rest on hip crease or waist. Inhale, bend, and the feet are going to stay flat for this. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1. You're a little pulsing here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and straighten the legs. Let's extend the arms out to the side for now. And with a flat back, go halfway down. Going forward, forward, forward. Crown of head is still lining up with tailbone. Don't let the head dangle. We're pausing here halfway down. More support. Hands could go to thighs. Belly is engaged for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's float all the way down now to a forward fold here. However far the body's willing to go. If the fingertips don't touch the mat, you can place the fingertips on the block, on the seat of the chair. Let's go ahead and just shake the head yes, and shake the head no. Adding in some Mr. Ed lips, some horse lips. Wilbur, come on. And now let's go ahead and just micro bend the knees left and right. Little tiny bends with the knees, so you're stretching out the low back here. Abdominals are engaged, of course. Big full breaths. Try not to even sway the hips. Just move the knees for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to stillness. Let's take the hands up the shins for a series of flat back lifts here. You can adjust the width of the feet as needed. Inhale, halfway up, back is flat. You could serve tea on your back, no spills. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let's go all the way up the legs. Hands can come to thighs. Gently pressing the thighs as you stack the bones. You stack the bones, stack the bones. Roll the shoulders. Whew. Let's take one hand on heart, one hand on belly. And noticing how the energy has shifted in the body. Heart beating, blood flowing, chi, life force moving throughout the system. Let's take the part in 3-part Durga breath now. Inhale. Belly expands, rib cage expands, collarbones lift. Noticing the pause at the top. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, belly. Squeezing out all the air. Noticing the pause at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Belly, ribs, chest. Pausing in the silence at the top. Exhaling, chest, ribs, belly. Squeezing out all the air. Resting in the silence at the bottom. 2 more just like this. Inhale. Exhale. Expanding your lung capacity. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And then just shake everything out. Legs, arms, torso. Let's shake the feet nice and wide. Toes point out 30 to 45 degrees. Again, the hands could be on hip crease or waist. Inhale, knees track over toes. Torso stays upright. Try not to lurch forward. So you're only going to go as low as it's willing to do with your torso upright. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1 little pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So stay down now. Let's migrate the right shoulder over towards the left knee. Left forearm could rest on left thigh. You're in a big, deep squat, and you're also in a twist, looking over that left shoulder to the wall behind you. Meanwhile, the right hand presses into right thigh presses into right hand. Belly is engaged. Breathing for 8, 7, 6, pressing on the right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come up back through center. Now, left shoulder migrates in the direction of the right knee. Right forearm rests on right thigh. Big wide squat here in a twist looking over your right shoulder. The left hand presses into the left thigh. Left thigh presses into left hand. Big full breath here. For 8, pressing on the left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. And now let's just slowly go from side to side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Now let's shift over to the right. Right forearm could rest on right thigh. Left hand could rest on the seat of your chair or a block if you're using blocks. So you're pulsing into this right hip. Right knee tracks over right set of toes. The left heel is grounded, and those left toes can point up to the sky. So we're getting a deep stretch in this adductor muscle, which tends to get overlooked. And you're breathing, staying calm and relaxed here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come through center without rising up if that's available. Left forearm to left thigh. So left knee tracks over left set of toes. The right heel is grounded. And right toes point up to the sky. Little pulses now into your left hip. Big full breaths for 8, 7, 6. Big stretch in this adductor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let's come back to center one more time. Hands can come to thighs, and let's go ahead and press the torso upright now, straightening the legs and rolling the shoulders. I'm going to narrow my legs slightly here. We'll try this one. So the legs are still relatively wide. Make sure they're wide enough so you feel stable. Nice big inhale, arms come out. Inhale, all the way down. Exhale, and the arms are going to scoop up and raise up to the sky. So you're basically rotating your arms. You're supinating the arms up to the sky. Let's stay here and breathe for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then coming back to neutral, hands can come to your thighs. And let's stack the bones. Come up really slow. You don't want to get the head rush. You don't want to get dizzy. Roll the shoulders. Let's heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. Maybe you want to grab some water. I'm grabbing some water. So let's go ahead and grab blocks if you're using them. And we'll place them here at the narrow end of the mat. Let's go ahead and do a big swan dive. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's just stay here in this standard forward fold. Uttanasana. Shake the head yes. Shake the head no. Breathing. Once again, let's microbend the knees left and right. You might want to keep your hands on your thighs or the forearms on the thighs as you microbend the knees, stretching out the low back. Big full breath. And then bringing that to stillness. Hands come to the mat. I'm placing my hands on the low blocks and coming into your best version of downward facing dog. So here, the idea is to press the chest close to the tops of the thighs. You can microbend the knees left and right. Oh. Stretching it out, wagging your dog tail. You can choose what breed you want to be this morning. And barking is optional. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet come to stillness. Let's bend the knees like you're going to land, but we're not going to land. Inhale, bend and hover. Exhale, straighten the legs. Press the heels into the earth. Inhale, bend and hover. Exhale, straighten the legs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we'll float the knees down as best you can, getting down to the earth. However, the best way for you to do that is, and then the feet come together, big toes together, knees wide apart. Pressing into child, I'm taking my towel and putting it behind my knees. So there's a little more space, a little more maneuverability to get the bum close to the heels. Stretching out the quads as well. You might want to stack the palms if the forehead doesn't come to the earth, or stack fists, or head on a low block. You can choose. Arms can be forward in front of you, or maybe by the legs. So you're here in your nice little ball, your little child pose. And once you've got arms and legs organized, just allow the body to melt into the earth. Maybe little rocks from side to side might feel delicious here. The thighs could also be in parallel. It doesn't have to be big toes together, knees wide apart. Just little rocks from side to side, massaging that tissue, breathing into each cell of the body for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's come halfway out of our child's pose, very slowly. You're going to take the top of the right foot and press it into the arch of the left foot. You're just going to nestle it in there, and then you're going to press back into your child pose. So that left bottom foot is being squeezed, it's being smushed, pumping fresh blood and life force into that foot, into those toes. Maybe little wiggles here, maybe not. Let's take the arms off to the left on the earth here. The feet are still in the same position. Your right hip is stretching away on the diagonal 45 degrees. So you're getting a huge stretch on the right side of your body. Inhale, a few breaths here, deep and long, slow and deep, LSD breath. And then coming back to center, arms come back to center. Come halfway out of your child's pose and reverse the feet. So the top of the left foot nestles into the arch of the right foot. Then you press back, squeezing into that foot. We're squeezing and smushing that bottom right foot. The arms can go to the right on the earth, stretching. Big stretch with the left hip on the diagonal, 45 degrees. So the whole left side of the body is being stretched and hydrated. Couple of rocks here, perhaps, little micro movements or not. And then coming back to center. Let's go ahead and rise up out of it. Finding your way to neutral table here. And you might want to pad the knees at this juncture. And then coming into neutral table. I'm going to keep using my flat blocks, trying to stretch out this injured side of my arm. Let's take the tops of the feet and just bounce them on the mat. The belly is engaged as always. Breathing. Big full breaths for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stopping there. Let's tuck all 10 toes here. And now we're going to rock back and forth on those feet. Some people can sit all the way back on their heels and have no problem. I'm not one of those people. But we're busy opening the bottoms of the feet. We're stretching the toes. We're pumping blood in the feet. Big full breaths. Couple more rocks back and forth. Very nice. And let's bring that to stillness. Untuck the toes. I'm taking both hands to the mat now for neutral table. Neutral table is hips over knees, shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, fingers spread wide. If you have pain in your hands and wrists, the hands can come slightly farther forward. Let's go ahead and extend the left arm out to the side. Inhale, and then exhale as you thread that arm underneath your right armpit and stretch it to the wall, the side wall. You're going to inhale, lift it up, that left arm. Exhale, thread the arm. So it's an active thread the needle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this time you're going to leave the arm there, stretching to the right. The left arm stretches to the right. And you're going to place that round part of the skull on the mat. You've got your right arm there to support you. Don't put a lot of weight onto the skull. So you're stretching and you're breathing for 4, 3, 2, 1. You could stay right here. You might want to extend that right leg out if that's an option. Tuck the toes for 4 or not. 3, 2, 1. Knee comes back to neutral. Unthread that arm. Let's go ahead and wiggle between sides to shake out any kinks that might have crept in there. And now we're going to return to neutral table. Right arm stretches to the side. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, thread it underneath that left armpit. Inhale, lift right arm. Exhale, thread it under the left armpit. Lifting, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 4. Slow it down. 3, 2, engage those bellies. 1, you're going to stay here this time, stretching those fingertips to the side wall. Breathing, staying calm and relaxed for 4, 3, 2, 1. You want to stay right here, perhaps. Maybe extend left leg long with the toes tucked or not. Big full breaths for 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg returns back to kneeling. Unthread the arm here and then return to neutral table. Let's do a series of cat-cow here. So inhale, drop the belly, spread the sits bones wide. Exhale, arch and squeeze like a Halloween cat. So you're dropping, inhaling. Exhale, navel to spine, squeeze it up. You're hydrating the spine, hydrating the spongy discs between the vertebrae. Couple more just like this. And as the old saying goes, you know, you are as young as your spine is flexible. So we're working on flexibility of the spine. Last one. Squeeze it. Very nice. Let's come back to neutral and find our way to sitting. Oh, taking your time. No rush to get there. And so finding yourself on the earth seated, you might want to take a folded blanket or towel to lift, put under the hips, to tilt the pelvis forward. And then I'm going to take this away. All right, let's cross the feet into easy pose, Sukhasana, if that's available. If it's not available, you could take blocks or a rolled towel underneath your straight legs if that works better for your body. So crossing the legs into Sukhasana, you might want to pull flesh away from sits bones. I use the blocks under the thighs, so I'm not gripping by holding my knees in the air here. So just get to the point where you're relaxing those hip creases. And then once you've found your best form, your best shape, let's start circling those ribs, circling the rib cage. And here again, just like we did with the ankle, the rib cage is what initiates the movement here. Everything else goes along for the ride, stimulating blood flow into those internal organs, which are working 24/7. Oh. And then we're going to find a way to go in the other direction as you're ready. Inhaling forward, exhaling, squeezing navel to spine. Big full breaths. And then coming back to center, corkscrewing back to center. Inhale, float the arms up. And then exhale, you're going to Go over something, like you're getting over the top of a big pile of something. You can imagine whatever it is. And then the hands go flat onto the mat. The fingers are spread wide. And maybe little micro movements here. Rocks from side to side might feel good, but maybe not. Shh. Big full breaths. Try not to let the head dangle. And then coming to stillness, let's tiptoe the hands over to the right. Oh. Grounding through that left sits bones. Maybe little micro movements, maybe a static press is plenty. Oh. Sighing, moaning, groaning, as you know, is fine. We're all on mute, so go for it if it feels right. Let's go through the center and go over to the left. Oh. Maybe micro movements, maybe a static press. You can choose. And then coming back to center. We're going to walk the hands back towards the body. And then if the legs are in Sukhasana, you're going to reverse the position of the feet, the back foot in front foot in back. Big full breaths. Inhale, same idea, over your pile of something. And then you're going to land those hands. This fold of the legs might feel different. Just noticing, no self-judgment, just observing what the body is willing to do. Little micro movements perhaps, or maybe a static press. This time let's tiptoe the hands over to the left. Oh, grounding through that right sits bones. Breathing. And then coming back to center, tiptoeing the hands over to the right. Oh, again, noticing if there's any difference in this fold of the legs or not. Let's go back over to the center. And this time, see if you can go a little bit farther forward. Maybe the forearms could hit the earth. Don't let the head dangle. Maybe the forehead could come to the earth. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe in this lifetime, maybe some other lifetime, all right? But no judgment. So you have your optimum stretch here, and you're grounding those hands into the earth, and you're pushing forward with the crown of the head, and you're isometrically dragging the hands. They're not moving much towards the body. So you've got two-dimensional stretch going on here. So the hands are isometrically pulling back towards the body. The crown of the head is stretching forward, imagining a fountain of light streaming out of the top of the head for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you're going to walk the hands back nice and slow. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. And now let's unwind the legs. Oh. And let's just pound the legs. Just tap the legs. It could be flat of hand or a soft fist. Just get some blood flow going back in there. And as long as we're doing this, take a soft fist and you're going to start tapping on those hips, the outer parts of the hip here. And you can work your way back behind the body, maybe reaching up towards the kidneys if that's available. Oh boy. And then coming around. And let's go ahead and just start tapping the belly. I'm just doing a flat hand and I'm moving in a circular fashion here. Improving digestion, elimination, encouraging the colon to keep doing its job. And then let's just go ahead and bring that to stillness, shake out the hands and shake out the legs. Again, pulling the flesh away from sits bones. The hands can come behind, fingers point away to the wall behind. Let's flex the feet and point the feet. See if you can stay sitting tall, try not to slump. Flexing and pointing those feet, spreading the toes wide, circling the ankles. Big full breath. Circling the other direction. And let's bring that to stillness. Slightly separate the legs a little bit more. The feet are still flexed. Internally rotate those legs so the toes point towards each other. Externally rotate those legs. The toes point away from each other. Internal and external. Internal and external. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then just shake everything out. And let's go ahead and clear the mat of your props. Come to sitting. Feet are hip distance apart. Toes point forward. Knees are bent. Again, you could pull flush away from sits bones. So inhale, I've got my hands on the backs of the thighs, never the knee joint or the shins. That would work too. Inhale forward, exhale back and squeeze. Inhale forward, exhale back and squeeze. Let's do 2 more like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, and then you're going to roll it down vertebra by vertebra onto the mat, drawing the knees into the chest. When you finally land on the earth, the back of the neck is as long as it's willing to be. You're rocking those knees. Either you can rock those knees side to side or circle. The legs could be circling in tandem, or they could be circling in opposition. And if you're circling, be sure you circle it in both directions. Breathing. And then taking those feet back down to earth. The feet are mat width apart. The arms are in T position. We're going to start windshield wipering those bent knees side to side. So do your best to keep the shoulder blades glued to the earth as you rock side to side. The best you can. Again, no self-judgment. And we're just massaging the entire back body, including the back of the skull, if that feels good. And then bringing that to stillness, let's go ahead and drop the knees off to the left. And maybe the face wants to turn to the right. If it bothers the neck to turn to the right, skip it. So the bent knees are dropped off to the left. And maybe little tiny micro movements here might feel interesting or not. You can experiment. I've got that bottom hip. The left hip is getting a nice massage here. And then bringing everything to stillness, return the legs upright, windshield wiper a few more times. And then the next time the knees drop to the right, leave them there. Maybe the face wants to look to the left. Maybe it doesn't. If it bothers the neck, skip looking to the left, but the knees drop to the right. Here again, this could be a static press, both shoulder blades on the earth. Maybe little micro movements, but maybe not. For 4, 3, 2, 1, coming back to center. Now, you're going to keep the feet just as they are. The feet are hip distance apart. Draw the left thigh into the chest. With your strap or with your hand, grab the outside or the inside of the left foot. Now that left knee is going to drift outward, so it's not going towards your armpit. It's sort of at an angle, 45 degrees. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten, half the heavy baby. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Return that foot back down to earth very slowly and mindfully. Draw the right thigh into the chest. With your strap or with your hand, grab the outside or the inside of the right foot. The knee is angled out about 45 degrees. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Bending and straightening for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Rebend, return that foot to earth, and again, draw both knees into the chest. Let's draw the legs up towards the sky now. Let's shake the legs, shake the arms, get any tightness out of there if it crept in. Flip the palms underneath the hips. The palms can face down, the two legs together. Inhale, drop and hover. Don't land those legs. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, drop and hover. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Legs come back up. Hands can be released. Again, shake arms and legs. Shake them. And then one more time, we're going to take the legs, and it's like you're kicking yourself in the butt. Little pumps with the legs for 8, 7, 6, 5. Really pump. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly bringing everything down to earth. Arms and legs 30 to 45 degrees, arriving in our favorite pose, Shavasana, resting pose, corpse pose. You might want to roll a blanket or towel under the knees. If you have a crabby low back, if flat on the back is impossible, take the feet mat width apart and just knock the knees together like a tent. That's restorative rest. Or if on the back isn't going to work at all, always the option of rolling onto one side, stacking hips and legs, resting your head on the upper arm or on a block, or perhaps a cushion in a block or a blanket in a block, or legs up the wall if you have an available wall, or sitting in a chair, feet flat, hands on thighs. And then once you've got arms and legs organized, allowing the eyes to drop closed, and scanning the body, just breathing into any residual tension that might remain. And beginning to notice relaxation, softness forming in the soles of the feet. Our imaginary hot tub, once again. And that softness, that relaxation moves into the feet, the ankles, and then the low legs. It moves up into the knees now, permeating the complex structure of the knees. And then it envelops the thighs, all the way to the thighs, up to the tops of the thighs. And legs and feet now are very, very heavy. The softness moves into the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks. The low back releases. And then it moves into the belly, the waist, the torso, relaxing the ribs, the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, spleen, colon, all the vital organs deeply relaxed. It moves into the chest and shoulders and rolls down both arms all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the fingertips. It envelops the throat and the neck now. And then it envelops the head all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck releases. The face and the jaw let go. The tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart. Eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light permeates the entire body. Noticing back body and front body, right side and left side. Noticing the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. And here's a quote from a book entitled A Path and a Practice by William Martin. This is a path of letting go, so there will be room to live. This path accepts that developing an ego is an essential element in human growth. But it also suggests that this development might be a stage of human development rather than its end product. Developing a cocoon is a natural and essential part of being a caterpillar. But the time comes when the cocoon softens, wears out, and opens up. What if this is the case for all of our opinions, possessions, and even for our ego? What if, when the cocoon of ego opens, instead of the feared abyss, we find a butterfly? If you'd like to stay here in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And as you are ready, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. And then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day. And bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, Samastiti. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you stand in the light of your own true life. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.